Well, howdy, folks. I thought I'd bring you on board. It's kind of, I've already got into this video a little bit, or this operation right here. I'm trying to save a sheet. It was my wife's favorite sheet. We bought these things about a dozen or so years ago, and they're coming apart right there. They feel so comfortable, I'd throw them out or turn them into rags, but what I decided to do, so I'll have a sewn edge. I'm taking a little bit of that fabric and laying it over like that. Getting all this falderall here out of the way. When you stop in the middle like that, if you'll reverse that travel, even if it rips out that far, when it gets there, it'll stop. And always leave your needle in the down position when you stop. That way it locks it in place. Get you one hand back there behind it where you can help it. Make sure you have all that cloth out from under it, because you don't want to have to pick it out when you get down to the end of your cloth, and then you realize, oops. And you come out here about 5 or 6 inches and get your cloth and lay it over on it, smooth it out. Now I'm sure there's probably a gazillion ways to do what I'm doing, but this is just what came to me to do, so. And it takes a little time, but it's worth it, because I'm saving a sheet that's comfortable. What I did, my wife was in the hospital bed, and she was only using half of the sheet, and the rest of it would be bundled up to one side of her. And she'd have a hot spot on one side because of it. So I said, well, let me cut the sheet down, cut it half in two, and hem it on both sides. And that way you can have the sheets that you like, and then be hospital size. Hello, you see that right there? That means the bobbin's out. Okay, kind of hate to see that, because it ran out back here and I didn't know it. You never know when your bobbin runs out until it just does. So y'all gonna get in on how to take care of your bobbin too. All right. Let's see here where my box of stuff is. There we go. I believe I got some thread down in here somewhere. And I used to keep a couple of bobbins made up, so all I had to do is change them out. But since I got you guys watching, set your thread right there. Now I'm going to take this loose. All right, see this knob right here? You have to hold this up here and crank that knob back. I don't know whether I can do it one-handed or not, because I usually do it pretty tight. So you'll just have to trust me, because I don't have any way of putting it over there. Now what that does, that unlocks the needle so it won't be sitting there flopping. Pull that little slider back. See, down in that hole right there, there's a little handle right there. See that little handle that I'm pulling out there? I don't know whether you can see that or not. I'm hoping you can. It's hard for big hands to get down in there. Get hold of it. Watch me drop the darn thing. I can't do it and hold the camera at the same time. I'm going to have to pause it. Alright, we're trucking again. That's what the bobbin case looks like. That was a little handle I had pulled out on the side. That's what the bobbin looks like. It goes up in there. It's that thing right there. Push that bobbin up there on it and roll this little wheel around till it goes in that little offset thing right there. There's a little spring wire that comes over there and goes on there. And then you mash that button right there. And that puts this leveler down in there. And this runs on the wheel. This right here. So when I'm moving this big wheel, that's not going up and down, but this is turning. And you take that and go through that little feeder loop right there. Put this on the inside of the bobbin. And you hold it out here, because if you don't, it'll get all wound up and turn into a mellow head. And when it's time, this will break off. You just step on the feed And that one's not breaking off, so I'm going to have to help it. I know why that didn't break off, because I've got this thread that I'm using is what you wrap guides on a fishing rod with. So it's a little bit heavier gauge stuff than normal. That's all I'm going to give it. It's got a thing on there where it'll automatically, when it gets up certain distance, it'll automatically kick out. But I'm not going to take a chance of this and walking on up there too far. But when it does, of course you got to be holding this. When it does, that right there snaps out and your bobbin's full. All right. Thread goes on here this way. And you've got a slant cut through under that spring right there. And right there's where the needle goes up. So you put that in there. Pull that down in there like that till you get to the hole. And you got about that much hanging out. And you can just drop it because it's not going anywhere now. But you got to hold that in there till you pull that handle out. That handle locks this in there where it won't fall out. And you lay your string back over the back of your hand and stick that thing back on that little arbor down there. And there's a little V notch up at the top, and that little handle goes in it. And then you just push the thread back down in there. All right. You get the thread from here that goes down through your needle, and put it down here under the foot and hold it over here and hold the string. You tighten up this knob over here in your wheel. You hold this. You run that down one time till it tops out. And then reach up there and get that thread that just came up through the hole. And that's your bobbin thread. Then put your finger on that string and pull it over there under your foot and drop it. And you want to put about 8 inches of string over there. Because when this takes up a thread, it'll pull back 2 or 3 inches a lot of times. And if you hadn't got enough hanging over there, sure, it sounds like you're wasting thread to have that much thread laying over there, but it's a whole lot better to waste that thread than it is a couple of minutes of rethreading your machine. It's a smell of a hess. All right, I'm going to end this video right here and just call it loading your see, that's where old age gets you. Loading your bobbin. So that's what I'm gonna call this video and put it out there. I was gonna show you on this video how to do this other thing, but it has turned out to be a lesson on finding out that your bobbin is run out and then what to do about it. So I'm going to post this for that, and then come back and show how to do the sheet doolally. All right. Y'all like and subscribe, hit the bell, and make comments. This is General. I'm out.